Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brink, as we come to you for another episode of excitement and thrilling times, because Mallory loves doing podcasting.
No.
Tell our listener why you were grumpy.
I want to go to bed.
She wants to go to bed. Now, the last 2 weeks when we've recorded this, she's just done nothing but complain. She's come home from work last week. I want to do this, I want to do that. I forced her into recording because it's going to be more convenient, and it turned out to be more convenient, but she won't admit it. And then tonight, we've just recorded The Jungle Book, coming soon to the Oz Network. She's like, I want to go to bed. And now she's just laying there being little Miss Complain.
Yeah.
Now, why do you feel you have to complain so much?
Because it's my bedtime.
It would be great if you could talk into the microphone.
Because it's my bedtime.
What time is your bedtime for those playing at home?
9 o'clock.
And what's the time right now?
9:50. I can't see the clock.
It's 10:02.
10:02.
10:02.
It's an hour past my bedtime.
Well, in all fairness, if it was daylight savings, it would be 11 o'clock or something.
But it's not.
It's not. It's Easter this week.
Chocolate.
Now, what are your thoughts on Easter?
Chocolate.
Besides chocolate.
Easter egg hunt.
In all seriousness, a serious question for you. You obviously were raised how you were raised. How big of a deal is Easter? Like how did your family treat Easter each year?
We got up at 5 in the morning and went to the beach for the sunrise service. So it was like church at the beach.
Was this
with
on
a bonfire?
On the Sunday?
Yeah, on the Sunday. And we would have a big breakfast after, and an Easter egg hunt, and yeah.
What about Good Friday? Was there church on Good Friday for you?
I honestly don't remember. I don't think so.
But isn't Good Friday the big one?
Yeah.
That's even more so than Christmas. Good Friday is meant to be the big one, right? Like, that's the one that Christians, generally, that's the main one of the year.
Yeah, I guess.
So why wouldn't you have gone to church?
I don't know.
Is that just your denomination?
No, like there was always a church service. We just never went.
And were you raised on that belief that you do not eat red meat on Good Friday?
See, I don't remember. Like, we didn't eat a lot of red meat in our house anyway growing up. But, like, I don't think that was ever a thing.
That was a definite thing in my house. Good Friday was the day you eat fish. Like, that was the year that my dad, go and buy the fish. And when I started getting older and discovered I didn't like fish, I would eat chicken. But every year I would have the big rebellious thing, especially on social media, like, "Ooh, I'm eating a hamburger on Good Friday," and people are like, "Ooh, sacrilege." It's an odd concept, because I know people who aren't religious and don't practice religion who still will not eat red meat on Good Friday, because they're like, "Oh, can't eat good." And it's like, you do know you're doing that because it's a religious belief. Like, you're eating the flesh of Christ. Like, but you're not religious, so what does it matter? Like, I don't know. Are we going to eat...
Is that the red meat thing?
Yeah, like, you don't eat red meat on Good Friday, because that's the day that Jesus sacrificed himself for your sins. Mm-hmm. So that is the day that if you're eating red meat, it's like you're eating Jesus' flesh. So, like, no, you can't eat... Which is odd, because human is white meat.
I'm confused.
You didn't know that's why?
No.
Come on.
I'd never heard of this red meat thing until I met you.
Really?
I'm sure I've never heard of this red meat thing until I met you.
That's why fish, basically, you eat fish on Good Friday, because it's meant to be white meat, but, it's a thing. How am I educating you in religion?
I don't know.
Like, that's just strange to me. I personally always hated Easter, because it's one of these weird holidays that it's never at the same time every year. I mean, look at this year. We're basically having it right at the end of April, where sometimes it's in the middle of March. Like, it's just... I know it's based on the lunar cycles, but...
4-day weekend.
Yeah, but it was frustrating, because I've never worked a job where I get public holidays off. Like, I've always had to work public holidays. So it's like, it's normal for me. And I grew out of the whole... I mean, don't get me wrong, as a kid, I loved Easter with the Easter egg hunt. That was fucking fantastic. And my parents used to come up with the silliest, most hilarious little rhymes that my sister and I had to hunt around and find the eggs. It was great, but... Yeah, nowadays it's just annoying. And to people who buy presents at Easter, it's not a present holiday. Shut up. And Easter cards are not a thing. Stop trying to make them a thing. Like, I've never in my life received an Easter card. Like, who sends an Easter card? Oh, dear Ben, happy Easter. Love, John. I don't know who John is, but he sent me an Easter card and it's dumb. Fuck off. You're going to buy me an Easter card, aren't you?
I might have to.
No. Anyway, don't buy me an Easter card. We're going to come back and ask some questions very shortly. Another episode where we press this button.
This is like a flashback. This is like a dream.
And flash back into things. This week, continuing the best of 2014, where we're going to play the intro from the best of 2014. Probably should have played that at the beginning, shouldn't we? But apparently we're playing it this week, as well as the other segments that include headache tablets for Christmas, 500th show, the alphabet confuses us, fail or no fail, and they are the ones that you are going to hear as of right now.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird.
Live from Hobart, the greatest city in the world. It's time to open your eyes, wake up your pet cat, and recite the alphabet in Finnish. As the radio airways are about to explode with the greatest audio sound since Nicky Webster's greatest hits. So ask your mum for a carrot, explain to the neighbor why you're naked, and turn a selfie into a hashtag. As your morning just became full of the most Brinkaliciously Brinkin' hot action happening anywhere right now. It's The Brink, live on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
Thanking you, Trevington. Good morning, Hobart. You are tuned into The Brink on Edge Radio 99.3 FM. 7 o'clock on the dot, the 2nd of September 2014. A big show coming your way today, and it's always the biggest show on a Tuesday when Paul Luttrell is here. Paul, welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Just trying to finish off my blueberry muffin.
Of course, but you're not eating in studio now, are you, Paul?
I'm ducking out.
You are outside, of course. And also joining us is a man who is eating an Edge Radio sticker as I speak. It's Mr. Noel Groves. Noel, welcome back.
I don't know if I'm a frequent guest or an infrequent host at this point, but I'm here.
It's just like Survivor Oz right now, except we're live.
We're not talking about Survivor.
Well, we might, just to annoy the listeners this morning. If you want to get involved in the conversation, 0427 334 336, you can send in the text or go on Twitter at Brink Radio Show. We're actually getting started straight away right now because we've got a lot to get to. We are continuing on the Sledge on the Edge, I will say, this morning. No, it's still sitting a little bit sad with you at the moment, is it?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be here for that.
Well,
bad news.
You're pretty much in the semi next week so far, but our very good friends Mika Polari and Rod Hunt are coming in to have their
smart.
crack. Well, look, one's from Finland and one has glasses. So does that count as
smart things?
Yeah, the first two signs of a smart person.
So they'll be going in to take part. We also, of course, have our regular Tuesday segments. We give out the Ocean Award, which Noah, I know you will be very heavily involved in. We take a look at Dakota's Facebook, and I'm telling you now, he's put a few doozies up there this week, and he's even sort of, commented on them going, oh, Ben, I bet you'll be talking about them this week.
This is a segment.
It is a segment. Oh, we have to explain why
it's
this is a segment.
It's kind of become a bit meta now that he's talking about it on Facebook.
But he still then puts stupid updates, so you think he would think. But he is 15 and 15-year-olds don't think.
Maybe it can change to things Dakota thinks will get read on.
Yes, exactly. We'll just read the dumb ones and he thinks the other ones will. What did Santa bring you?
Santa bought me a new
tablet.
A new tablet, as in like a computerized
Tablet computer.
But Louise got a tablet for Christmas, and I always get confused because she says to me like, "I'm going to bring my tablet to work," and I'm like, "Which tablet?" And she's like, "Oh, my tablet." I'm like, "What? One for your headache, one for your leg?"
Yes, I've had the same thing.
Yeah.
People think you got medication.
particularly when Louise has 100 different types of medication. So generally, I assume she means medication.
Yes.
Whereas if it's just her tablet, I mean, it's not a very good name for it.
No, no, well, blah, blah. No, not really. Where did tablets come from?
I don't know.
Egyptians made them, didn't they?
They had those like rock things.
Yeah.
They invented the iPad back in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
That's not when the Egyptians were around, was it? The Stone Age.
iPad minus 600 BC.
Joining me in studio, though, is a man who has joined me lots of times before. I didn't bring in the number. That was very slack of me. Samuel McCrossan, welcome to the 500 show.
Oh, welcome, Ben. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to always have you.
It is. 500, eh?
Yes.
I've been here 300, 400, 500.
I was about to say, you were here on the last two 100 and Brink anniversaries. Look,
Nice.
I brought in. We haven't had Byron on in a while.
I know.
Byron seems to only show up every 100 shows now.
He does.
remember back in the day when you brought in Byron and he was the flavour of the month?
He was, yeah. That was the original Byron, the one that ended up on the roof of the Welcome Stranger.
Yep.
Lucky ducks. I'll probably go out there one day and find a very beautiful looking pink pig.
Probably on mouldy by now, wouldn't he be?
Probably. He might have gone up in the gutter where all the water goes. So he's probably a green pig now.
For all you know, they've had like plumbing problems at the Welcome Stranger for a couple of years, and they don't know why. And he's a plastic shiploads pig shoved in the gutter pipes.
Yeah, there's a pig in the downpipes, isn't there?
Yes, come on, people at the Welcome Stranger, listen if you have any troubles with your plumbing.
Anyway, 300th show, Byron. He's at my house.
Yes.
Yep. In all his glory with his signature tattoos all over him.
Yes.
And we've got 400 show Byron. And what about 500 show Byron? Is there one?
No, this is 400 and 500th show. So if he's got 400 written on his head, this one. So maybe if I write like and 500 on his belly.
What's on his bottom?
Somebody's drawn like a squiggle. I'm guessing
that's my signature.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
You signed his bum.
Signed his bottom.
That's
okay.
That's typical, Sam.
You'll have to use his pork belly then.
Yes, perhaps. Now, to celebrate though today, I've got to play in just a few moments. I've gone back and found your very first appearance on this show.
Really?
And I'm going to play it.
Wow.
In just a moment.
All right, blast from the past.
I know.
Eh?
I thought I'd be prepared. And is the Sarge coming in today?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, he doesn't miss milestones.
He wouldn't miss milestones. No.
And he's grumpy man. He's elusive. That's
elusive.
What he's
yes.
elusive, but not for milestone shows. He was here.
He's kind of just out of the woodwork for these things. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm looking for. I haven't seen him in a few weeks. I miss the Sarge. I think about him at night sometimes. I just sort of sit there and I go, oh, I wonder what the Sarge is doing now.
I often go and park outside his house at night.
Oh, do you?
Just in the evening.
Yeah.
Just sit there.
Oh, so I don't even know where he lives. I'm going to take him to his dungeon, but usually he blindfolds me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be special, really in tight with the Sarge to actually know where he lives.
Yeah.
Is it a nice house?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's got like 4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms?
Yeah.
Wow. And I bet you he sleeps in each of them each night. He'd like every hour an alarm goes off and he goes into the next bedroom.
Well, I think he took the walls out and made one big bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
So his bedroom's probably bigger than my house.
Yeah.
Because you can never have a big enough bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's just like, it's just out at like Moona.
Just at Moona. Yeah. He's just a casual
lives at
man.
Moona.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Byron? His breath stinks. I tell you what, you don't squeeze them for 100 shows and they stink.
Really? Has he been drinking?
I don't know. I don't know what he does on my shelf.
Oh.
For all I know, he's been drinking.
I definitely know that the first Byron, so the Welcome Stranger Byron, I definitely know that he got beer poured down his throat.
Poor boy.
Definitely had beer in it.
You used to like really squeeze him hard and they used to do like a real squeal. Now this one just does a...
golly.
He's lost his squeak.
Sick. Poor little Byron.
Do you remember I think we've talked about this before, when they first came in shiploads, and you went and bought one, and then you were like, oh, I'm pretty cool. And then every time you just went in there, you just hear all these...
Yeah.
The whole time.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Yeah, like, kids were running around with them, but...
we made them popular.
I think I had like 2 or 3 Byrons at one point, but...
We made them popular.
Anyway, yeah, we did.
Calm down. He's not. Just settle, Byron. Bad Byron. So do you think that if we were to learn the sobriety test of America, like what they actually did, and we try that sober, do you think we would pass it?
I suspect I wouldn't.
Can you actually recite the alphabet backwards?
I can usually get like 5 or 6 letters in, then get confused.
Mm.
Who the hell? What?
Who the hell
Recite
what?
the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
To prove that you're not drunk.
Yeah, and like walk on a line with your like finger on your nose.
One-footed and stuff.
Well, everyone's going to be drunk.
I'm actually, but the thing is though, when you're drunk and you think that you can act sober really well, like I pretty much can. Like when I'm drunk and I can act sober well. Mind you, everyone says that. So I wonder if like I could do it. I wonder if people. But the thing is, if you are literally good at acting sober when you're drunk, you could probably pass the sobriety test. And if you know it, then you can probably actually just practice.
Exactly.
Like, how Velvet was practicing burlesque. Your whole life's ambition could be to practice doing the sobriety test.
You have a sad, sad life if that's your goal.
Dakota's actually sitting there reciting the alphabet
I'm
backwards.
trying to yell ZYW. It doesn't work with the ABC. ZYWX.
No, you're backwards.
What's before XV?
ZYXW.
ZYXWV.
U T
R.
No S
S R
Q. This is great radio.
M N N M N M.
Bringing quality to the airwaves of Hobart.
Fail or no fail.
I imagine you sitting around at home for most of the week, just twiddling your thumbs until this moment of the week.
Oh yes, Ben. This is the highlight of my week.
It should be, and it's the highlight of everybody else's week. Now, I'm going to start off with the one that I teased you about before. We read this last week on air about a Norwegian teenager who had a McDonald's dinner receipt tattooed on his arm for a dare.
My first response is, why?
Well, let me tell you why. Stian Itterdal, what a name. It's probably just like a John Smith in Norway. He had it on his right arm after his friends punished him for being too active on the ladies' front.
Okay, how does that segue to McDonald's?
Well, basically his friends gave him two options. They said you either get the McDonald's dinner receipt tattooed on your arm, or the option of having Barbie inked on his bottom. Now, which would you not prefer? I would get Barbie on my bum, because no one looks at my bum, and it's Barbie. And
I would go for the third option, find new friends.
Well, he says, some of my mates thought I had been a bit too active on the ladies' front recently and wanted to punish me. When we were in the restaurant on Monday, they said I had to get a tattoo, a Barbie doll on my bum, or a receipt on my arm. And he said that he got that instead, and obviously his parents aren't too happy.
Why is this new?
Well, why is anything news this? But like seriously, first of all, if my friends came up to me and were concerned about me being too active on the ladies' front, I'm going to be getting high fives, not punished. I don't know how it is in Norway, but I know in Australia, generally around, like maybe all his friends are girls.
Maybe.
Christian girls who believe in the Bible, who want to get tattoos. I don't know.
I can't imagine the situation where that makes any sense at all.
But like, what's exactly getting you friends, perhaps?
Yeah, that would be how I would address that.
But like, and also, why wouldn't you not get a Barbie on your bottom?
Yeah, just make it very, very tiny.
Exactly. Now, I'm just looking at the receipt. Now,
what did they have?
He had a one...
Or is it in Norwegian?
No, it's mainly English. A 0.5 litre cola. Half a litre worth of cola. Wow. He had 3 cheeseburgers. Now, I don't know what currency they use in Norway, but it costs 36... whatever that is. We'll find out, no doubt. 3 bear OS, I don't know what that is. 1 happy cheese, because it might be a happy meal with a cheeseburger.
I'm guessing.
And then for an extra 5 something, he got 4th topping, dame topping, oh boy topping, and a non-stop flurry.
A non-stop flurry?
Well, exactly, it just doesn't stop. It's like you're eating
Just
and
like
eating.
that tattoo.
Yes, I need to find out what Norwegian currency is right now because I feel stupid that I should know that. I'm going to ask you clearly, fail or no fail?
Fail on so many levels. Why is it a story? Why did he pick the McDonald's receipt? Why did he not find himself new friends? Oh, it's so much fail.
The Norwegian krone is...
I thought it was something like that.
Yes. I'm guessing they don't use the euro in Norway. So there you go. We've been educated. Victorian-era public urinals have been transformed into cafes and bars in Europe. After 2 years of restorations and the cost of hundreds and thousands of dollars, the Attendant Cafe is one of a number of urinal-turned cafes popping up around London. Attendant manager Jacinta Price said the owners wanted to keep as many of the toilet's original features as possible. It closed as a public toilet in the 50s, so it has been a vacant building up until 2013 pretty much, so it was a mess in here, she said. I've seen the photos on the wall and they look pretty bad, so there was a lot of cleanup involved, which was pretty brave of them to take it on. Customers said the concept is thought-provoking. Well, it's a really creative use of space. It's really interesting, customer James Hankins said. You look around, you've got the urinals over there. I'm not quite sure this feels like it might have been the stalls, but yeah, it's really quite interesting. Would you go to a cafe that used to be a public urinal?
Personally, I think that's actually probably pretty much a fail. But due to scientific curiosity and curiosity about the world, I probably actually would visit it once, maybe 3 times.
3 times?
Well, you've got to... If you try something once and you don't like it, you've got to try it at least 5 more times.
Like, what would be an example of that, Stewie?
Urinal cafes.
Good save. Sure. I don't know how I would feel about that. Going to a cafe that was once where people peed.
It would be interesting. I
suppose you don't know what we're ready. Like, I mean, for all I know, we're in a studio right now. There could have been a toilet once before. Like, we don't know what was here before.
For all we know, they bury dead bodies in here.
Well, that's what happens to our guests. They leave, we shoot them. Thanks, Jenny. Bang. I'm going to say a fail, I think, as well.
Japanese fans say Godzilla is too fat.
Ah, what?
So this is to do with the new Godzilla movie that's coming out.
Coming out next week, I believe.
Yeah, May 16th, which is next week. And Japanese are a little bit unhappy that he has been supersized by a country that uses too large portions.
Oh, so in other words, Godzilla sort of headed over to America and just had too many of the supersized meals.
That seems to be the general gist. He's gone to America and he's got fat.
Right. Well, that's just not good enough, is it?
So, we've got comments from Fumihiki Abe, sorry, my Japanese is not great on Wednesday morning, who is quoted as having seen every Godzilla movie ever made.
Right, so both of them. I don't actually know how many they're made in Japan. Sorry, Japan, if you're listening.
But he says that it's fat from the neck downwards and massive at the bottom.
Well, he's, more cushion for the pushing. Why not? Let's put him out there. Like, so what?
I get the image of, that kid song that's about the egg that's like small at the top and big at the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
That's what they sing on the streets of New York as Godzilla's destroying their city. Small on the top and big. I mean, like, why, if he was skinny, then he's going to be on the cover of, like, Who Weekly. Godzilla, too skinny. Godzilla's bikini body, not good enough. Godzilla needs to eat a biscuit.
I don't know. I don't think I'd be as scared of a scrawny Godzilla. Like, surely if he's just thin and lanky, it's like, well, I can take him.
Yes. You know what it is? He's rocked up to America thin and fine and, just as he looks. It's eating the American people that's put him on weight. Like, I mean, no offence to America, we love you, but, like, you've got a bit of a weight issue, just like we do here in Australia. And, eating all the oversized Americans...
has made Godzilla fat.
Exactly. So, if anything, Japan, blame Godzilla. Like, put Godzilla on a diet. Like, send him off to, like, Scandinavia or something where they're skinny. And then he will be fine.
Godzilla needs a diet.
Godzilla needs a diet. I say, fail, Japan. Stop whinging. That's our job. Like, go back to... this is from a country that hunts whales. that aren't exactly thin.
That's true.
Now, come on, Japan.
Apparently, they've got standards. They like their whales fat and their Godzilla's thin.
Right. Yes.
I'm going to go no fail because I'm sorry, but a big fat Godzilla is scarier.
Okay. Now, I like the fact that he's referred to the 98 movie, which I actually quite like and everyone hates. Said that it was like a fast-moving dinosaur instead of a big... I'm sorry, what is Godzilla?
He's basically a dinosaur.
Well, according to... I think he's a lizard that was exposed to radiation, which in turn turns him into essentially a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Which is what a lizard really is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I do have to mention the quote that one person dubbed it Marshmallow Godzilla.
Marshmallow Godzilla.
That does make it less threatening.
Okay, I wouldn't be scared of that. I don't like marshmallows, but anyway. What do we got one here, Lauren?
We have Bavarian countryside meets Chuck Taylor's fashion-forward Lederhosen retailer opens US store.
Ooh.
Love Lederhosen.
I saw you wearing yours this morning.
Yeah, I was.
With your Apple Watch.
Yeah.
The Apple Lederhosens.
The Lederhosen.
Germany only.
Access Facebook from your Lederhosen.
Oh yeah, I can see who talked to me on the Facebook.
Oh, what does this do? Oh, it just goes on Facebook. Can I press it? Oh, don't touch that.
His accents sound exactly the same for every country that
Shut
he
up.
impersonates. That was his Indian accent last week.
You, Ben, cannot take the moral high ground on accents.
Yeah, you can't take them off.
Hey, mine generally go French, okay? Like, if I want to do a German, it's like, oh, look, that's my Lederhosen!
Mine always...
check my Facebook!
Mine always just end up British or Irish.
Anyway, yes, Lederhosen, Lauren, what's that?
Wiesenkornig, the official supplier of Lederhosen for the Munich Oktoberfest,
Know them well.
is hoping its fashion-forward take on traditional German clothing takes off in America with the opening of its flagship US store in a Cincinnati brewery. Well, that makes sense.
Would it be their only store? Like, I don't exactly see Americans go, well, Cheryl, let's go down and buy ourselves a Lederhosen.
Where at? Cincinnati? I don't want to go there.
We're not selling costumes to make it look like Germans. English goodly. A Wiesenkornig consultant who lives in Munich and is helping his sister, a Munich-born Cincinnati resident, to launch the store. We want to show people here in the US that you can wear the Lederhosen with Chuck Taylors and you don't have to wear the suspenders.
Now, what's a Chuck Taylor? Am I dumb not to know that, or?
Converse All-Stars.
Oh, well, of course. No, Apple didn't invent it, so I don't know.
Don't the suspenders basically just make it a Lederhosen?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure the Lederhosen are the leather pants.
I like you to think Bavarian countryside meets Abercrombie.
Just buy leather pants.
I don't know anybody from Cincinnati, or at least I don't think I know anybody from Cincinnati. But I can't imagine it. The residents of Cincinnati are just rocking out the Lederhosen.
Yeah, they're all
apparently
heading down to their
the
local.
residents of Cincinnati, aside from being sister cities with Munich, fun fact.
Well, there you go.
Hosts the largest Oktoberfest in the US. So at least one day a year they're going to get sales.
It's only Oktoberfest.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Americans and beer, come on.
Yeah.
They're all into Oktoberfest. It's Oktoberfest all year round in America.
That's Germany.
There's a Simpsons episode about Oktoberfest.
There's a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
There's a Simpsons episode about anything. Actually, there's an Apple Simpsons episode coming soon. They're inventing the Simpsons episode.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's called iSimpsons.
Can you go on Facebook?
What is this? I was going to say, they have their version.
Apple.
Is it one where Lisa gets a MyPad or whatever it's called?
Oh, it's a Mapple MyPod.
MyPod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's quite a funny episode.
Does it access Facebook?
No, it wouldn't.
No,
That's on your watch.
That's a bit
because
stupid then.
in Springfield it's not Facebook. But Lisa invented Facebook.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on, Dakota.
The Facebook equivalent in The
Alright.
Simpsons was invented by
Get up
Lisa.
with the 500 odd episodes of The Simpsons.
Jeez, all right.
I'm going to say no fail. Why not?
No, well, if you can at least make money one day a year, you might as well.
Alrighty, you know what time of the show it is. You know what part it is. No, it's not time to yawn. It's time for you to answer that question and some other questions. Because what are we doing?
500 questions.
And we're going to ask all 500 of them to make you even more annoyed. How do you like that?
No.
No. All right. So this is, of course, Richard Herring's emergency questions book. He's written 500 of them. We're going through all of them, 20 a time a week. We are now up to questions 301 to 320. We are doing very, very well. All right.
I'm pretty sure we did those ones last week, didn't we?
No, we did 281 to 300.
Are you sure?
The last question you asked me last week was, would you rather have a book with 300 emergency questions in it delivered within 2
You're
months?
right.
Thank you. I love it when you say that because it's always true. Question number 301. How much is a pint of bull's semen?
Like dollar value?
Yes.
700.
I would say like 100.
Is there an answer?
Well, they've written here, remember to Google what is the current market value of bull semen before you ask a question. It is designed to show whether the person you're asking is in touch with a normal man in the street and buys their own bull semen, or if they send someone out to buy their bull semen for them. You're actually about to Google this, aren't you?
What is the current
market value of bull's semen? I'm very impressed that you're willing to Google this and have this in your Google search history. S-E-M-E-N. Semen. 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 Run. Run, semen, run. Anything? She's looking. What she found. Online search has found. What have you found? I am giving...
freaky?
What? This is keeping us in an...
You get to choose which bulls you buy from.
What, with bigger balls or something? Or no?
There's no prices, though.
Okay.
Dairy industry.
She's very invested in trying to find this answer. I appreciate this.
Oh, here we go. It's not transferable. They can't... Minimum purchase order of 20 straws. It's $7 per straw plus GST.
A straw being what? They stick a straw up the
I have no idea.
bull's doodle and it just drips out. Anyway, alright, we've invested way too much in that. Let's move on. 302.
But it's to do with, like...
She's still going.
Reproducing, not
Okay.
drinking. I don't know.
Who said anything about drinking?
Well, just like the way that it's
are you,
formed, like you
website?
want a pint of it. I'm picturing like a pint of beer.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to go down to the local pub and like, hey, g'day, mate. Can I have a pint of bull's cum? Thank you. 302. Have you got what it takes to be a steeplejack?
No. A what?
I don't know. A jack that's steeple. She's Googling this too. I would say no, because I don't really have got what it takes to be anything of value. That's why I do podcasts. What is a steeplejack? She's... really-
Definition. A person who climbs tall structures such as chimneys and steeples.
Oh, no.
That makes sense. I could do that.
I mean, I don't mind. Like, I've done... But no. Anyway. 303. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you at a funeral? You're breathing into the microphone again, which is very annoying. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you at a funeral?
I've only ever been to one funeral, I think. One?
And the answer would be...
Nothing. I don't really remember it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had anything funny happen at a funeral. I mean, you tell things that you have a bit of a chuckle about, but no, I don't think I can answer that one, to be honest. 304. What's your problem with immigrants?
I don't have a problem with immigrants.
Considering that you and I are two immigrants right now. There's too many of them. No, that's not really my...
All the Asians.
It was meant to be a joke about us and the fact that we're here and... Well, too many Australians. 305. What would it take for you to drink a pint of bull semen?
A lot.
How much money?
A few.
A few what?
100.
Only a few hundred?
Grand.
I would be minimum 50,000. No, minimum 100,000.
I feel.
Yeah. 306. What's the worst hotel that obviously thinks it's a good hotel that you've ever stayed at?
I don't know.
I have stayed at a Hilton before, and I don't think it was as good as people make them out to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd say the Hilton. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it's like, I think Hilton, you think, oh, the Hilton. Like, wasn't that special. So, I'd go with the Hilton. 307. Would you like to carry moonbeams home in a jar? Would you like to carry moonbeams home in a jar? You know that song? No?
What song is that?
It's by Bing Crosby. My mum used to play it a lot. And if so, what would you do with them once you got them there? I'm suspicious of your motives.
I would plant them and grow more.
I would do the same. 308. Which ghost of Patrick Swayze would you prefer to encounter? The ghost of Patrick Swayze in Ghost, or the ghost of Patrick Swayze in Flashdance? He wasn't in Flashdance, was he?
I haven't seen either of these movies.
He was in Dirty Dancing. Was Patrick Swayze in Flashdance? No, I don't believe that. As long as it's not Dirty Dancing, because that's a terrible movie. Ghost of Patrick Swayze in Ghost, because he gets fallen in love with in Ghost. I think they're wrong. He is not in Flashdance. Surely. I think they've gotten that wrong. Yeah, I can't see him on the cast. Anyway, maybe that's going to be one of these ones that's going to come back later and going, did you realise he's not really in Flashdance? Anyway, 309. Do you think anyone ever named... sorry, let's start that again. Do you think anyone ever said to Jesus, God shouldn't play man? I get it. No?
I get it.
But do you think anyone ever said that?
Probably not.
That was that old Formula 1 joke. I remember somebody told me once, it's like, what's the difference between Jacques Villeneuve and God? God doesn't think he's Jacques Villeneuve. Question 310. If Frankie Boyle is the Mick Jagger of comedy, the outspoken voice of the disenfranchised youth, dehumanized and demonized by the press and feared by parents nationwide, and Dave Gorman is Ringo Starr, an everyman. He's well known and provides entertainment in a variety of guises, but he still gives the impression he'd be incredibly polite if he ever met your mother. Then what is Paddy McGuinness?
I don't know who any of these people are. I know who Ringo Starr is, but I don't know the rest.
You know who Mick Jagger is, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, no, I have no idea what any of that meant.
Moving on.
311. Do you ever Google yourself or search for yourself on Twitter?
No, but Ben does.
Yes, I do. And what's the worst thing you've seen? There's plenty of forums talking about me.
Are you actually being serious?
Yeah, there's...
Really?
And Reddit. Survivor Oz Days. I stumbled across a Reddit post about me the other day, which is not very complimentary. I had my own hate thread on a forum once, the Ben Waterworth hate thread.
What?
Which was quite funny.
I
appreciate it, because, I thought I'd made it. So, yeah. 312. Boxer shorts or serendipity?
What?
Boxer shorts or serendipity?
Serendipity
is multiple... No, that's when you meet... No, what is serendipity? There's a movie.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Serendipity. The occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. Serendipity. Boxer shorts, I used to wear them, but... any man would know that you need something to support what you've got. And boxer shorts don't support it. It just dangles everywhere and it's annoying. I wear like little tidy, little extended...
Boxer briefs.
Thank you. But boxer shorts, used to wear in the bed, but, it's hanging out everywhere. So, anyway, what would you choose?
Serendipity.
313. Why hast thou forsaken me?
Because.
I agree. 314. Do you have a preferred ear?
My right one, because it hurts less.
I would say my left one to be different from you. What's the most expensive? This is 315. What's the most expensive and or pointless thing that you have bought at auction?
I've never bought anything at auction.
Have you not bought something off eBay?
No.
I've bought plenty of pointless things off eBay. I mean, pretty much now looking back on my life, every DVD I ever bought on eBay was pointless because I've sold them all now and I don't collect them anymore, which is sad because I really did enjoy collecting DVDs. Yeah, I've bought plenty of pointless things on eBay. 316. Tell me... You should be able to answer this one. Tell me about the most disgusting fart you ever did in public and what repercussions did it have?
I thought it was just going to be about the most disgusting fart, and I was going to say sticky farts. I don't know.
Oh, come on. You've done them before.
I try not to fart in public.
But you have before.
I'm sure
You fart in front of me and I basically gag.
That's rude.
That's true.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Honestly, like, I can't think of any.
The ones that I always come to my mind is when you're holding a fart for a certain amount of time, but you know you can kind of tell when it's not going to be loud. Like, you kind of hold it and you're like, okay, this is going to be one of those, like, your little bubbly ones. It's not going to make a noise. Because at the time, all you're thinking about is, I've got a fart, but I don't want people to hear it. You're not thinking about the smell. So it's when you do those ones, you mask it, you're like, yes, great, I've done it, cool. But then it fucking stinks. And you're in a room, and there's no way that people don't know that there's a fart. And I always have a thing when I smell a fart, even when it's not mine, that I always assume people think it's me. I don't know why, but I just always do. So, but there is occasionally where it is me. I think I farted on a plane once, and it really stunk. And that's a bad place to fart. Anyway, three. Hey, actually, I can answer this one properly because it's true. 317. Do you come from a land down under?
Haha.
I do. Yay. 318. How many different chairs to the nearest 7 chairs have you ever sat in? Can we add that to our 5 questions on the radio?
700.
Oh, God.
To the 7th.
Gotta be more than that. I would say 4,312. There's got to be a lot of chairs that you've sat on in your life. 319. Would you
Also, neither of us put it to the nearest 7 chairs.
Would you rather have a pituitary gland that gave you a wish every 13 years or a tap on your knee that gave you limitless cider?
A wish every 13 years.
I would do that too. And that's a classic case of what would you wish for? To have unlimited wishes. Or the ability to wish whenever I wanted to, rather than every 13 years. And the final one for today, 320. Would you rather be allergic to wood or not?
Not.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to be allergic to anything. Except for, like, vegetables. Like, I'm allergic to vegetables. I can't eat vegetables. I'm allergic to work. I can't work. Sorry, you'll just have to pay me for not working. I'm allergic to it. I will work and I will die. Do you think that would work?
No.
No? All right. Thank you, Mallory. We will have some more of these next week. Press button to get people excited.
It's that time of the week to play everybody's favorite game show. It's Forget the Lyrics here on the Brink on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
Forget the Lyrics. That generally is all you need. This week we're playing a bunch of Forget the Lyrics for you to once again go through the archives and realise how much of a great segment this actually is. You are going to hear the songs Yesterday, Yellow Submarine, Wrecking Ball, The World Is Not Enough, Wonderwall, Womanizer, Who Are You, and What's My Age Again? Who's singing them? I don't even know. You're going to find out by listening to this right now.
Thursday. I never got to go on the show that day. Now it looks like I'm here to stay on the day of Friday. Suddenly, Ben said, we're going to close that day. Now the shadow of Ben is here on a Friday came suddenly. I don't know what I'm doing now, because this song is really cool. I didn't say anything bad, but now I long for the show to be on a Thursday. Arthur Dent really didn't like Thursdays, but I think a Thursday would be grand to have the Brink. Oh yes, the Brink. I love the Brink so much, but I would not marry it. I might visit for Christmas, but I would not marry it. Friday, today's such an easy day to be. 21 degrees, oh I hope, oh yes I hope, 21 today, today.
Alright, we'll let the intro go through.
Where I was born.
Go! Yeah, on a donkey, and the Melbourne Cup he won.
Hello, Marty.
In the land of donkeys. We went to Melbourne on the 6th of November on a donkey named Donkey. It was yellow, and the words, Ben.
On a donkey called Donkey, we rode it in the cup. We ran really fast. I like to ride on a donkey called Donkey. Donkey, donkey, donkey. Riding on a donkey. When I crossed the line, I looked over at my mum. She said, "Horsey rider, you did well. Now go and play the trumpet."
Josh! On the yellow donkey! We ran on a donkey called Donkey! We ran on a donkey called Donkey! We all ran on a donkey called Donkey! A donkey called Donkey! A donkey called Donkey! This is the end of the song. And the end of our show. And we'll score before we go about a donkey called Donkey. This is our goodbye. Bye. Oh, I think that's it, Ben.
I think we could go one more chorus. So you want me to bring it home?
Bring it home. Well, no, we'll do it together.
No, I don't think we should do it together. In a donkey called Donkey. Donkey, donkey, donkey. Clonky, clonky, clonky. Riding the donkey in the Melbourne Cup called Sean. I called it Sean, even though it's called Donkey. It's time to... Yeah, alright. No, you were right about 30 seconds ago when you said we should have wrapped it up. My phone rang, I looked down at the number. It was Miley Cyrus. She said, "Hey Ben, let's go on a date to the circus." I once said to her, "You stupid girl, now I don't want to go out with you." She said, "Ben, I'm a celebrity. I am better than you." I went out with Miley Cyrus. We went to the circus. We saw elephants and lions and a clown that had a red nose. Yeah, it had a red nose. She said, "Hey Ben, that was a good date. Let's go back to my place. We went, I saw her naked on her bed. She said to me, I said, Miley, I don't want to. I am in love with Louise. Grow your hair back, you're short and ugly. I don't want to see your crack. I saw Miley naked. She was on the bed and she was wrong. I said, what would your dad think? Singing about achy breaky hearts and all that crap. Put some clothes on, Miley Cyrus. You swing it on metal balls, it's wrong. Remember when you used to do cool stuff like dress up as birds and say stuff and be on 2.5 Men and nah. Put your biceps back in, please, Arnold. They're distracted. Sorry. I've seen all his movies. I've watched them all twice. From Conan the Barbarian to Terminator 1, 2 and 3. Since he became governor, he hasn't been in any movies, which is sad. Although no one ever talks about some of those movies that were really bad. Arnie, come back to acting in movies. Please, Arnie, you're not a good politician, but you're not really a good actor, but I don't really care because your movies are awesome. Especially that one with Jamie Lee Curtis, where you were a spy and made her strip down to her underwear, which was nice at the time. Go, Arnie.
I missed Arnie DeVito, 'cause he was so cool. We made 2 movies and they were funny. And I miss the action, the aliens and predators. Actually, it was only the predators. I want to be in movies, 'cause I am awesome and no one can have boobies like me, 'cause I have muscular boobies, and I want to be a movie star, 'cause I am this.
Come on. There we go. You can clap in the background if you like, Anthony. Introduction, 16 seconds. I had to let people know. You can do backup singing, Anthony, if you like. You can do the ooze. I woke up, I looked at the water and I put it in a cup. I saw Wonder Woman, she flew down and said, "Hey, can I have a packet of that?" I said, "It's not a packet, you silly person. It's water in a cup." That was stupid. Have a shower, turn on the tap, out comes Wonder Woman. I'm like, "Get out, I'm in the shower, I'm naked, I want water instead, now." She says, "You silly, I'm Wonder Woman, I can come out of taps, even now." And all the water comes out over Wonder Woman. I run and hide because I want some flummin'. There are lots of things that Wonder Woman can do, but not fly. Maybe she can. I don't know. I don't read comics. Oh well. Because then she had some water on a tree. And after that, the tree died and went splat, and Nick McKim cried. That's it. The Brink, it's where you're from, it's what you're listening to. We're here now. It is 9:45. Today we had on wheel. He's a rock, paper, scissors champion from Friends. From Friends, baby. We had Elizabeth College in. They were pretty awesome. That's where we started from. Josh and me, yes we did. We talk about stuff like the Olympics and other stuff. We are the Brink. That's what we are, baby. The Brink, that's what we are. That's where we're from. That's how we're doing. Coming on the edge and doing stuff like this and can't take a breath. Yes, we are. Josh, are you listening? Because I don't know if you are anymore because they don't like this bit. Boy, don't try to listen because we are the Brink. Yes, we are. I'm trying to get out of this bit because it sounds pretty bad. Yes, it really does. Josh, what are you doing? Get off the porn. It is time for a talk bit.
Oh, I need to hear it. Alright. Moo, 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 moo. Cow. Moo, 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 moo. Cow. Moo, 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 moo. Cow. Moo, 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 moo. There's a guy called David Walsh and he owns a place called Mona. He's hired an artist to have an installation at Mofo. The guy is like, hey, let's get a cow and spill his blood all over the place. And let's put it on some naked people and then say it's for art. Well... yeah! Moo. It's a cow. Yeah. Yeah. And it's all for art. The people of Tassie are like, no, let's not do that. 'Cause we're all vegetarians and we don't let people have their own ideas. I can't think of any more lyrics, so I'm just gonna sing about how I can't think of any more lyrics. I like this song, it's quite a good song. Yeah. Cows. Moo, 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 moo. Cows. Moo, 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 moo. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm done. Alright. Something about cows. They go moo and stuff like that.
They really do.
Yeah.
They really do move.
Yeah.
I saw a rat in a hat. It was on my desk. I thought it was a cat. I started eating it and it tastes really nice. And then I turned off the computer. And that's about the time I ate a rat in a hat. Yes, it was very nice. Its tail was nice and crispy. Its feet were nice. After that, I got my cricket bat and hit the rat in the hat. It was dead and I tried to eat more. Rats taste nice, like rice, not soap, on a rope.
Well, it's been an exciting time to be a geek in the world of geekness, because this weekend we had a trailer drop for Star Wars Episode 9, and usually I play a song about Jesus at this point, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to play this instead. Star Wars theme, because it's better than any song about Jesus, because the real Jesus is Luke Skywalker. And the real Jesus is Joshua Shoeridge, apparently. Hello, Josh. Welcome back.
Oh, mate. I used to go around saying in high school that my name was Jesus, because the pronunciation of Joshua and Jesus in Aramaic is the identical. It's Yeshua. So, yes, it is me. I am here.
And that's good to know, Jesus. But Star Wars Episode 9, it was pretty much expected for it to happen this weekend.
It was expected to happen like today. That was the thing about it with the Star Wars Episode 9 panel at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. I've been following it since I knew Celebration was on. We were either going to get a teaser trailer at the the Super Bowl, but we didn't. Gay, and then so the next plausible thing was today. So yes, I am stoked. I've watched it about 10 times now. Both my boys have seen it more than that too, so we're pretty happy here in the old Shoebridge farmstead.
Well, obviously you have your own podcast. We have the Oz Network as well. So both our full thoughts and analysis we will have. I'm sure you've got your own episode coming. We've got our own episode coming. But
yes,
I woke this morning. To date this, obviously this episode comes out on Sunday, but we're recording this on the Saturday. I woke up this morning and I had a message from Colin, our co-host over, of course, on the Oz Network, and Brink listeners would be familiar with him appearing on the show regularly. And the message was, I will be ready to do a Star Wars reaction episode on, this day. And I'm thinking, okay, that must mean the trailer has dropped. So this is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm kind of like, I can sleep into about 10:30, so yeah, I'll just go back to sleep. It's still going to be there when I wake up, so no, it's all right. Laid there for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, nah, got to watch it. So watched it, and yeah, I think it's exciting because it's a new Star Wars trailer. We've got Lando in it, we've got the Emperor, we've got Palpatine laughing at the end of it.
Oh, mate, that when I heard that, I was like,
you shat yourself.
Yes, because they're going back to the old source material, what happened after Return of the Jedi in the expanded universe, or what Disney now called Legends. And because I don't know if you're familiar with it, there was a book called Heir to the Empire, which was set a few years after Return of the Jedi. And in that, the plot is that Palpatine was cloning himself.
Right.
That was like a bit of a thing. And now here's a very interesting thing. So the planet that we found Rey in The Force Awakens is Jakku. In the expanded universe, Palpatine had a secret cloning facility on Jakku.
Right. Okay.
So it's just starting to pull together. I've got a friend of mine, funnily enough, and I don't know how I've sent him a message this morning. I haven't heard from him. I'm going to try and get him on my podcast because he has some really awesome theories. And he said he would be really pissed off if Rey didn't end up being either a Kenobi or a Palpatine.
Interesting. I am weirdly, I don't even know how to describe my thoughts, because The Last Jedi is a piece of shit. I know you like to defend it. Good for you, but it's a piece of shit. So I struggle to get excited for the prospect of this, given that, honestly, Disney has not done a lot to me for Star Wars. I'm not going to...
Okay.
I'm going to... Hang on.
I'm going to ask you one question. One caveat question.
Go for it.
So, what were your thoughts on Force Awakens?
It improved after I saw The Last Jedi. It was just middle of the road. It was A New Hope redone. It had some good moments on it. I didn't hate it. I didn't absolutely love it. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's...
So your thoughts on J.J. Abrams then?
I like J.J. Abrams. I mean, the guy helped create one of the best television shows around. I've only seen one of the Star Trek sort of reboots. I enjoyed the first one. I have nothing against J.J. Abrams, so I'm excited that he's back at the helm. I'm definitely glad we avoided Colin Trevorrow after having seen the Book of Henry. But
I haven't even seen it.
Don't.
I choose not to.
And given that Jurassic World hasn't really held up that well after a couple of viewings in the latter years, but I guess my biggest thing with Disney is just they've had a clean slate to come into this and do whatever they wanted to with it, and they've just really left themselves open to fucking it up big time. And I hope J.J. Abrams can save it. I really hope he can save it. I'm always going to be excited. I will always love Star Wars. Whenever I do a rewatch of Star Wars, I still will watch The Last Jedi. I won't blacklist it. It's not Dirty Dancing or something like that, but it's just it's rubbish. And this is where I'm so hopeful that episode 9, which I will say I really am not liking the title of it, by the way, but
really, oh my goodness. When I saw the title, I was like, yep. No, they know the story, and this is the thing. I've been following the expanded universe stories after Return of the Jedi since I was a teenager, and this is the thing. They're going to the stories, and like for you saying that, you hope they're not going to they're going to stuff it up, and they're not, because first thing, JJ's come out and he's completely said that he's retconning all of what The Last Jedi had. So everything that happened in The Last Jedi, there is somehow going to be a massive retcon. I'm very curious to see how that happens.
Which, in its own way, means that we've just wasted a third of this trilogy on nothing. Like, I again, didn't like The Last Jedi, thought it was terrible. Yes, there needs to be some fixing done, but unless you turn around and say, oh, whoops, we fucked up, we're going to remake that. Like, I don't know, like, it exists now. It exists.
Could you imagine, though, say, instead of it being, like, let's say The Last Jedi was it, right? And they go, all right, we start this movie of the Rise of Skywalker, and it starts at the end of The Force Awakens with Rey handing the lightsaber to Luke. And then at the end of it, we see Finn wake up in that little spa bag that he's in, and the whole of The Last Jedi was his thing that happened in his head in the spa bag. It could work. It's got legs.
Lazy plot device, but that's the one time I would gladly accept it.
Mate, it's happened before. It's happened before. What was the show? Was it? Oh, far out. It was a show back in the 80s where they killed off a major character.
Dallas, wasn't it?
Dallas, that's right. And then it was like an entire season of this person just not in it. At all.
Well, I mean, look,
and then like the last minute of the last episode is the wife of the person who died wakes up from the husband in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, TV shows do it all the time. I mean, we're seeing that all the time at the moment. Obviously, with all these reboots, they kind of have to, like Will and Grace, for example, did it, and all these ones that have a big ending and then they bring it back.
You know what's funny? I've never actually watched any of the Will and Grace reboots.
Oh, that's a whole other episode in itself.
And I don't know if I want. This is the thing, though. Like, I enjoyed Will and Grace. Like the original. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great show.
It started off great. To me, I used to say it was the one reboot of a TV show where it actually feels like it just fit back to where it finished, and it was fine. Like nothing had changed. But what they've done in the second sort of series is just every episode there has to be some sort of preachy message, and you just roll your eyes. You're like, they're taking away what they did.
But that's this day and age.
Yeah.
Because of this, without sounding like a complete arsehole, the subject matter leads itself to opening into this very high amount of issues that, for some reason or another, people need to feel like they need to get in their high horses and preach about it, which I don't agree with.
Another segment, another episode. But, I mean, back to Star Wars.
Star Wars!
I think, look, I'm one of these real pessimistic fans who just,
it's kind of the exact opposite feeling what we had going into The Last Jedi. I think we were so buoyed with hope and so much excitement coming into The Last Jedi because it's like, okay, The Force Awakens was decent. Like, it set a good groundwork. We've got a clean slate. Yeah, we're going to, give some more clues to who Rey is, who Snoke, all these sort of things, everything that. And then we saw it and we were like, what the fuck? And now I think for the most part, we're like, oh shit, what have they done? I really hope it comes better. And I have every faith in J.J. Abrams that we will get a solid conclusion. I think what I liked about this trailer for the most part is that I would argue out of the 3 teaser trailers that we have had for these 3 main episodes of the Disney movies, taking out of Rogue One and Solo, is this maybe gives you the least, and I appreciate that the most, because even The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I feel on those first trailers, we had a lot more revealed that you could question, whereas this one, realistically, the talking point is clearly Palpatine at the end. Yeah, Lando, but I mean, we knew Lando was coming back.
We knew
he was coming back. And the only other things that you really have sort of questions, I think, with this is, are they on Tatooine? We've got some great planets. That's the ruins of the Death Star. Is that Endor? Is that Yavin? And then, because everything else there's nothing else really revealed. And I appreciate that because I think that trailers have gotten into a zone where they reveal too much, and I think we are slowly getting back into a world where we get a trailer for what it is, where it teases you enough without giving too much away, and I think that's what this trailer, to me, I came out of it the most seeing.
Yeah, well, that's I agree with you on that, and I think we've changed the language to the point where a proper movie trailer now is a teaser trailer. Mm-hmm. And then if you want like little hints and whatnot, then you go see the trailer. Like everything that's happening now with, say, the Avengers Endgame trailer system, like they're actually putting in full scenes from the movie. Like you've never seen that in Star Wars. You never see it. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm quite excited about going and seeing Endgame. I quite like the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And saying that, I went and saw Shazam, and I still don't know.
Oh, Shazam was brilliant. Shazam was brilliant. Loved it.
Again, this is a very clear example of staying close to the source material and actually doing it. And the guy who played the villain in it, I quite enjoy him as an actor, and it was quite funny watching him like do his American accent and then just go like you could see he wanted to a little bit of a Scottish accent that he's got a little bit. And but going back to the Star Wars trailer, the few of the hints that you saw there, I think they're on Jakku. Mm-hmm. I think that Death Star, yes, they're on the fourth moon of Yavin. I think they're there because that is a tropical sort of planet, so there will be an ocean. And I think they sort of jumped the shark a little bit with that, in my opinion, because like, if you think about it, Force Awakens, the first thing you see in the teaser trailer is the death of the Star Destroyer that's crashed on Jakku. It looked awesome, and I remember looking at it and going, oh, that's cool. And then when they showed the Death Star, I had to look at it twice going, is it? No, but then because at the same time I've got the Palpatine's like at going on. So
you know what I want? You know what would have made it better for me is fade to black and we hear a Misa's still alive. Dun, 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 dun. Someone's going to re-edit that and to do that.
You know what? I would not have been angry.
No, I wouldn't. I firmly said so many times since Disney's brought this back, I am 100% on the hashtag bring back Jar Jar. I want him back.
What they should have done, and I'm surprised they didn't, is they should, because they knew, like, April 1st. They knew Star Wars Celebration was in April. April 1st. Pull out a teaser trailer, call it, and give it some really crap name like Rise of the Gungans or something like that, and go and have that sort of thing, like where the Jar Jar's there talking like Palpatine, going, Misa say you a die, Jedi.
This is, I mean, the one thing I've always said, and I will stand by it, is that the Disney, the prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, sorry, has made me appreciate the prequels more. And one thing that I will say does frustrate me slightly with this new sequels is that they really have distanced themselves a long way from the prequels, with very limited connections. And obviously there's a lot of rumours circulating that that Ewan McGregor is involved with this to reprise Obi-Wan, which would be fantastic. And I would love for them to do that. And even rumours about Hayden Christensen kind of doing something as Anakin, which would be great.
Well, I can confirm. I can give you three confirmations. The first one is Hayden Christensen will appear in the new movie.
Oh, that just gives me an erection. Sorry.
And
it's cause it's rough, it's irritating, and it's great.
His Force Ghost. I don't know if I want to say this or not, but because his Force Ghost will have mixtures of his light side personality and his dark side personality.
So are we going to get him, being all like, I'm haunted by the kiss that you stole from me, followed by, I hate you! I hate all of you!
A little bit. Now, J.J. Abrams has commented numerous times that he is relying on the prequel trilogy to create the story.
Which it's
so the source material is going to be coming straight from it.
Which I find that fascinating, and that gets me excited because, again, I've just become an advocate now for the prequels, and I feel that we're going to be doing them obviously soon in the Oz Network, and they're the ones I'm looking forward to the most talking about because I feel as though, we can sit down for 20 hours and talk about, the original trilogy hands down because we all grew up, we all knew it, but the prequel trilogy is the one that gets all the shit. That was the Star Wars trilogy that you and I, that was for us as child,
that was
as
ours.
Children. That was ours.
And I think we appreciate it because it came out in our development, if that makes sense. Like Jar Jar Binks was made for us. We were in grade 6 when it came out, and then that was Jar Jar. He was our kid. He made us laugh as kids. We got to episode 2. You've got the Anakin as a teenager going through puberty, liking a girl and not knowing how to deal with it. That was us. You get to episode 3. Yes, we killed a lot of little kids. So yes, it was for us. Now, here's an interesting thing. So, Star Wars, for me, I've gotten a lot of Star Wars news over the past week. I play a game called Star Wars Legion, which is a tabletop war game based on Star Wars and the ground assault attacks on it. And it hasn't been out for a year. No, it has been out for a year. It came out on the 22nd of March last year. And all we've really had is Empire and Rebels, and they've had a few cool units come out. So when you first got the box set, you had Darth Vader, a couple of units of Stormtroopers, and some speeder bikes, and then you had had Luke Skywalker, some Rebel troopers, and they were on a little AT-RT Walker, which is a throwback from the Clone Wars. Yeah, and we've gotten all these cool units over the past year where we've got we've got the E-Web Blaster, we've got Krennic Death Troopers, Snow Troopers. I follow the Empire. My mate plays Rebels. Chewbacca, Wookiees, and all that came out, and now they had what's called Gen Con. No, not Gen Con. It was not Gen Con. Adepticon, which is the world's largest tabletop wargaming convention, coincidentally also in Chicago at the same convention center that Star Wars Celebration's at the moment. And they had the release of Clone Wars coming out for Star Wars Legion, and this is the thing that's gotten a lot more people more involved in Star Wars Legion. The Facebook page that's the general community for players went from 10,000 to 19,000 in a day because of the announcement of Clone Wars. And in the Clone Wars set, you actually get Obi-Wan Kenobi in his awesome that stance where he's holding a lightsaber above his head. It looks freaking awesome. You've got a multi-posed General Grievous. You got clone troopers. You got droids. You got battle droids. You got destroyer droids, and they look awesome. And one of the guys on the Facebook page made a really good remark. They would say, we were excited for Star Wars Legion when it was announced last year. And then we started playing. We're like, man, this would be cool for Clone Wars. And then more players come. Yeah, we want to play Clone Wars. And so, it's just gotten to this point where now Clone Wars is a thing. More people are more excited to play Clone Wars than they are to play original trilogy stuff. So it's quite fascinating that a trilogy that is universally disliked still has this large fan base of people who want to play it because it's just cooler.
Well,
and I think people. And I think it gets to the point where it's just a fad to hate the prequel trilogy. I love it. It's a Star Wars story. Why do we hate it? Just because it didn't go the way we want it? That's the whole beauty of Star Wars. It doesn't always go the way we want it.
I think that too, some of that has come through. I was at Celebration last year, or the year before, when Hayden Christensen basically made his first attendance to do with anything Star Wars related in a very long time, and he got a standing ovation. And then I think this weekend, again, you and I would both love to be there in Chicago, but one of the ones that would excite me the most this weekend is the 20th anniversary panel for The Phantom Menace, to which Hayden Christensen is attending. Which, I mean, that would just be an incredible thing to go to. I'm sad that Natalie Portman doesn't seem to look like she's attending. She seems to distance herself quite a fair way from Star Wars, but
well, she's distancing herself a lot from all of the franchises she's been a part of. She doesn't do much with the Marvel
universe. Well, she got burnt by the Marvel one. She wasn't. She didn't want to do Dark World. She was kind of contractually obliged to do it. That's why she sort of phoned in her performance in that. And she's kind of come out and spoke out pretty badly against her experience in that. But she doesn't. I mean, she still doesn't. It's not like she avoids Star Wars. She did her sort of newest rap comedy thing for Saturday Night Live last year, and she did a whole section of that one where she was joking about the prequels. She's like, say something bad about the prequels, bitch. And she sort of dressed herself back up in the Queen Amidala stuff. But yeah, I would love to see her. That would be great. But I mean, she's I guess. I don't want to say this being disrespectful to Star Wars or anything, but I think she's probably a bit bigger than Star Wars now, given that she won an Oscar and kind of went and did her own thing outside of that. Kind of like how Harrison Ford kind of went off and did his own thing and kind of distanced himself from it after a while.
I have to admit, and I don't know how this is going to portray me, but I took Alex, my 4-year-old, to the Star Wars Identities exhibition in Sydney couple months ago. Fantastic. If you get a chance to go see it, go see it. It's original everything, original props, costumes, photos, models, you name it, it's there. Like they've got an entire, I think it's almost every single concept drawing that Ralph McQuarrie did for the original trilogy in frame up on the wall. It's beautiful. But they had Natalie Portman's costume from Attack of the Clones, that white number she was wearing. And it was me and another two blokes just staring at this costume. The guy in the middle goes, she was in that.
Yeah, I saw the costume exhibition when I was in Denver, and basically I think 70% of all the costumes on display were Queen Amidala costumes from the prequels, and they had that costume there. So I have been within centimeters of that, and that was fantastic seeing all those sort of the costumes and everything along those lines too. But I mean, even again with the prequels, you look at jokingly saying 70% of the costumes of Queen Amidala, but that's something that this sequel trilogy hasn't had. The extent of the costume design and the world creation. This is to me a big issue that Disney have with their Star Wars movies, is that with no George Lucas at the helm to really show his imagination and that originality that he could come up with these worlds and designs of sets and costumes and aliens, there's nothing original about what we've seen in The Last Jedi. Every single planet you have, or every single new species of that, there's nothing original or unique about them. At least in the prequels, there was originality around what we had, and that's been a huge issue for me.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I think the blue milk titties that we saw on
the fact that's even a thing is just dumb.
And you say it's not unique. Come on, mate.
We have freaking the guy of all guys in the Star Wars, the hero for all heroes that everybody looks up to, is in Luke Skywalker drinking out of a nipple of a giant cowl thing and just slurping his face and having a bit of a smirk. And you're trying to say that it's unique, but it's dumb. It's stupid.
Okay, no, it goes along with Mark Hamill. Okay, let's have a look at Mark Hamill just for a minute. Now, I love the man. I would have his babies. Now, he
Wish
is
me happy
not
birthday.
only.
Wish me happy birthday. Just want to point that out.
You're an asshole. I don't know how you managed that, but anyway, I want him to wish me happy birthday. That would seriously make my year.
It's actually, to be completely honest, it's actually pretty easy. But anyway,
really,
just tweet him on your birthday and say, "Hey, everyone does it," and like he legitimately every day will send out probably like 20 happy birthday tweets, and if you're a lucky one, you get one, and then you feel great. There you go. I spoiled it, but that's all it does.
Now, what was I saying? Yeah, okay. Anyway, Mark Hamill. Not only is he the coolest Jedi ever, in my opinion, he is the coolest Jedi. He is also the best Joker ever in any of the DC materials. He is the best Joker. He is the most badass Knights Templar there has ever been in the series Nightfall. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's fantastic. And I just think they're playing this new, like the Mark Hamill that we saw in The Last Jedi was just playing to his personality. I think I think it was more of a parody of the fact that he was typecasted for the role. So like, I'll be myself. Even though Mark Hamill actually did say it wasn't his Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he's spoken out a lot against kind of about The Last Jedi, and you can tell one day he's going to release an autobiography and really speak the truth about how bad it was, because you can just tell that guy wants to really badly, but he kind of can't.
I know. Which makes it like, for me, it does hurt. The actor who has created this character is just feeling hurt. He's incredibly butthurt because of it all. So
I will close it out. Obviously, we're still 8 months away from it, but obviously exciting times to be a Star Wars fan. We generally get another trailer in the lead up to it, probably in a few months' time as well, which will reveal a little bit more. But this
we are also, no, just before you say it, we are also expecting over the weekend a Clone War, the new series of Clone Wars. There'll be another trailer for that and a release date.
And
we should also receive
live-action TV show, if I'm not mistaken,
The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing: that's one of 3 live-action shows that are coming out for Star Wars.
It'll be exciting. It makes you almost want to pay for the Disney service, but I mean, God, they've taken them too much of our money. So I'm very...
Well, in Australia, Stan is it at the moment.
Well, I'm not too keen on Disney at the moment, just because we're in the midst of recording live action Disney month for the Oz Network, and having to put up with Maleficent and Beauty and the Beast. I'm not too... And the Lion King trailer looks rubbish. It really looks terrible. So I'm...
That's the thing. No. That's a sore point with me. How the hell, Disney, do you explain to me that is a live-action movie?
I have been saying this for 12 fucking months. We had a segment on this on our show last year, Josh, when you and I said this exact same thing, and it's dumb.
It's CGI!
It's stupid. The one, though, that I'll be, like, at least when we get Episode 9 come out in December... By that stage too, the one that I will admit, like, I love my Star Wars, but probably just a slight bit higher for me, maybe just slightly, is of course James Bond. So by December we should have titles and posters and hopefully even a trailer for Bond 25, because we're just on the year from today, I think, or year from yesterday, I believe it was. It's around the 11th or 12th that Bond 25 is set to be released. So I, for one, am pretty excited to be a movie fan right about now.
Have they confirmed who's playing? Is it still Daniel Craig?
Craig has come out, and this is his last one. He announced about a year or so ago.
He said that the last one?
No, this one, about a year or so ago, he said this is the last one. So, but like, it has to kind of be his last one. I mean, the guy's approaching 50.
But he said when he finished...
Yeah, no, that was
Spectre.
the context thing when he said about slitting his wrist, but he's explained that. He's come out and he's, he did a big interview on Stephen Colbert about 18 months ago.
excuse me, 18 months ago, where he confirmed that this would be his last one. So,
but how did he explain himself? Like, that's what I'm confused about.
well,
Like,
it was basically he was interviewed at the end of this extensive shoot for Spectre, and kind of he was just completely spent. And he basically sort of likened it to, like, if you go up to a marathon runner as they cross the finish line and say, like, oh, are you going to run another marathon? What's the first thing they're going to say? Like, fuck off. Like, leave me alone. I would rather slip my wrist and run another marathon. So, that's kind of what he explained as, which you can make sense of it. But I, for one, am just going to be very intrigued for it. The fact that Rami Malek is all but confirmed to be the Bond villain, which is going to be exciting.
I was really impressed with him in Bohemian Rhapsody. I was
thoroughly deserved his Oscar. Leia Seydoux coming back, so I feel like we're really going to get a setup here that will lead us into kind of an On Her Majesty's Secret Service style thing where we're going to get to me, we're going to get what we should have gotten after On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and in a revenge flick about Bond going after Blofeld for the death of his wife.
Yes.
Like, I feel that's what we're going to get. And I think...
And I hope... I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that one.
And I really sincerely hope that they've set this whole new universe up, but, like... Can we go back almost to what we had with the Bonds, where you don't necessarily have to have every single one following the other one, separate entities? Because if you've got Craig having his last one, you're going to have a new Bond for Bond 26, but you've set such a connected universe up. How do you go about explaining this off with a new Bond? Like, it's not like you used to. You just have a new one, it's a new film. It's just, you move on.
I would love for them to play with that fan theory where
007's the James Bond is a code name, not an actual person.
And they could do it really well in honor of say, like, have it so in the first scene where he actually, like, Daniel Craig's in it for like 10 minutes and dies, and then have M go, all right, we need to, and have it as they're searching for the new Bond. Mm-hmm. I reckon that would be good. I reckon that'd be cool, actually.
The only, I completely agree with you, but the only thing that probably wouldn't work with that is, given how much they connected the Blofeld character with his childhood, is that he referred to him obviously as James growing up. It's not like we had that tease of, but of course you would notice something different growing up then, weren't you, James?
But what you do is you just have it as Daniel Craig is the original Bond.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could work. That's true.
And that way, this is the way this settles the argument for everybody to say Idris Elba can be James Bond at one point.
Yeah, that would work that way. Yes,
it settles everyone, and like I think I'm on the same size as you with that particular...
I think the biggest problem, too, outside of any debate around skin colour, is that you've got to realise that Idris Elba is the same age as Daniel Craig. And I think Idris Elba has come out pretty staunchly and said this as well, saying, like, hey, like, I'm not getting any younger. And I think that that's going to be an issue, because I feel we need to go back and get a Bond who's in his early 30s so we can play this character for another decade or so. And kind of keep that up. And I think what they do very well with James Bond actors, which I don't think people realise, is that they generally get one of those sort of C to lower B list actors who are sort of known, but they're not famous. And that's why we always get these lists of, like, Benedict Cumberbatch and, Tom Hiddleston and, Henry Cavill are going to be the next Bond. And it's like, they're not going to bring an A-lister into the role. They will get somebody who briefly from something, but who then becomes famous because they are James Bond. I mean, you would argue Pierce Brosnan was kind of up there. I mean, he was sort of very well known, but he was meant to be Bond.
He was a TV actor.
But he was meant to be Bond in the 80s, so like that kind of, was an ongoing thing. And even Roger Moore was a TV actor back when obviously TV wasn't as big as maybe it was now, but yeah.
Well, look at Timothy Dalton. What did he come off? He come off...
theatre, basically.
Theatre, no, but he did a movie. He did Flash. Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Flash. Yeah, and he was in it for like 10 minutes. Well, probably longer.
If of all those people I just mentioned, though, I've always said that if
Sean Connery was a lorry driver.
I would definitely go out on a limb and say Henry Cavill would make a fantastic James Bond, but I don't think you will ever have him because, A, he's so attached to Superman now, and he's done Mission Impossible, which doesn't really matter for much. And he's also getting on a bit. He's got to be in his lower 40s by now too. So,
Just speaking of Superman, just real quick, because we both enjoyed Shazam. That last 10 milliseconds of it, I thought that was amazing.
And the one thing about Shazam, which I think was brilliant, was Mallory and I, when they're the kids and the guy with the crutch, his foster brother, the whole time we're watching it, Mallory and I all of a sudden at one point turned to each other and said, he is the absolute spitting characteristics of Seth from the OC. This guy is a young Adam Brody. He is just absolutely spitting image. So when they turn into adults and Adam Brody plays the older version, we looked at each other and was like, holy shit, this is the greatest casting ever.
Now, just on that, because that kid, I believe, if I'm right, I'm just going to Google myself to make sure I'm 100%. No. Hold on. Shut up. It cast. Yeah.
This is one of the most diverse segments you and I have ever done on this show, by the way.
I know, but we're staying on task, which is even better.
Are we?
I believe far out. I just got a message from Sophie York, candidate for the Australian Conservatives for the Senate. Anyway,
okay.
Now, Shazam. There we go. Shazam. I'm going to go to that because that'll make it a bit easier for me.
I have no idea what you're actually trying to do right now, but
no. I think you'll really like it. What was the name of the kid? It was Freddie Friedman.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. So movies. Now he was in It. So the 2017. In 2019, I wanted because he played. So what they're doing in 2019 version of it, they've got the older people playing him. So here we go. Where is he? What was it? Adam Brody? Is that the name of the guy?
Yep. AKA Seth from the OCs. Most people know him from.
No, I think they got Bill Hader playing his grown up version.
Bill Hader, as in
yes,
that's who is that?
That's the guy from Saturday Night Live.
I'm just looking at him. Oh, him. No, but no, that's good casting though too, because I can see that. That's good casting. I see it.
Stefan.
This has been fun. Obviously, we'll get you back on at some point again on the show in the future, Josh. But start putting those days down, the countdown for Star Wars Episode 9. What is it called? The Rise of the Skywalker. It's a dumb title.
No, it's not. Take that back.
Stupid title.
The Rise of Skywalker. Which, do you know what? Just on that, just on the title Skywalker. I just finished reading a Star Wars book.
I hope I can read a book one day.
Based during the Clone Wars, where Thrawn, I don't know if you're familiar with Star Wars Rebels, Thrawn is the blue Chiss general. He's an awesome character. He's one of my favourite characters in the Star Wars universe. And he teams up with Anakin Skywalker, and they do some stuff. And then in the book, it keeps going back and forth from Clone Wars to the Empire, where Thrawn is working with Darth Vader. And Darth Vader wants to, separate himself from Anakin as much as he can. And there's a scene with the Chiss people where the Force-sensitive children act as their navigators on their ships, and they call them Skywalkers. And they lost their hyperdrive, and so they had Darth Vader, who is the only Force-sensitive person to guide a ship during hyperspace, up on the seat. And Thrawn's sitting there going, "You're a Skywalker." So there's another little term that goes along with it. So a little bit there. So Rise of Skywalker.
Cool story, bro. Thanks, Josh. We will speak to you next time. All right, it's everyone's favourite part of the show. It's where we leave.
Woo!
And as always, we thank you for listening, because we do know that you are listening. We look at the statistics. We've talked about them before, and we appreciate your listenership. And we would love to hear from you. Please send us a message on Facebook, on Twitter. Say, hey, hello, where are you from? We'd like to hear your thoughts on Mallory's ability to not contribute much each week. I do believe that you are now a week away from tying the all-time female record list.
Close.
I'm just going to be absolutely honest in the way I put this, so that like legitimately you've done hardly any work to get there. Lauren did a lot more work for her 31 episodes. She actually got up at like 7 in the morning and came into the studio and contributed.
That's rude, Lauren.
Well, you know, that's life. But yes, I'm looking forward to you being that person, because you probably often think, why do I agree to do this each week? And she's nodding, and I'm keeping her from going to bed right now. Was there something else I was going to ask you? How are the Canucks doing in the playoffs right now?
Shut up.
They're doing pretty well, are they?
Shut up.
Doing really well?
Ben.
Yes?
Shut up.
What would you do if Vancouver won the Stanley Cup? Like, what would you What do you think you would do?
I'd be happy for like 2 minutes and then move on with my life.
Would you join in the riots in downtown Vancouver?
Heck yeah. No, we don't riot for good things. We riot for bad things.
You still would riot if you won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, probably.
I think when Montreal last won it in 1993, they still rioted. Like, it's just a thing. Again, I just pointed out there on the record, the only Canadian city to not have riots after a losing Stanley Cup in the last 20 years was Calgary. Because they know we were robbed. We were robbed of that goal in Game 6. Fucking Tampa Bay! Anyway. Oh, wow, she's telling me to shush. I appreciate you. And end of sentence. I appreciate you trying to be on the show this week.
I said some words.
I'm sure one week we'll get you in here properly. Anything, words of wisdom you wish to share from the week about life?
Nope.
No? Do you want to sing us a song?
Got the bare necessities.
Thank you. And we thank you again. Everyone listening, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher and Google Podcasts and MySpace. Don't do that because it doesn't exist anymore. Did you ever have a MySpace page?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I'm not old enough for that.
Well, you would have been like 10, 11 when that was a thing. But anyway. And tune in next week because you should. And Mallory might be awake by then. Who knows? Until then, Hobart and Invercargill, wherever you're listening, please do keep sucking those oranges. And...
Nay, nay.